Hello, Degens. Welcome to Degenerate Bets. I am the perfect one, AJ. This, of course, is my co-host Noah. Follow myself on Instagram at perfect one, him at n_Engelbretson. However you're listening, however you're watching, Spotify, YouTube, we do appreciate it. Please like, share, and subscribe to help us fight these algorithms, dude. Let me tell you, they're killing us, man. These algorithms, they're tough. Let me tell you another algorithm that's been pretty tough, and I think Vegas still's got it, dude. These lines, week one, I'm looking at them. They're juicy. I like a lot of stuff. Don't like a lot of stuff at the same time, but excited that we finally get week one action of the NFL. Finally, something to bet on that actually matters. And with sports betting being legalized this week, almost every other state, it seems like it's going to be a big week in the NFL. Noah, what are your initial thoughts on this epic NFL week one that we are about to have?
Man, I'm just so happy it's back.
Woo!
Whew.
Finally.
I mean, it's been too long.
Way too long.
Time for the Packers. Time for the Packers revenge tour to start. We are coming, fire lit under our ass.
Hey,
This is our
Packers.
year.
Packers revenge tour, and according to Aaron Rodgers, apparently the Last Dance. I'm just saying that's what he put out there. So get a Last Dance magic going there, and then we get a good doc in what 5-10 years.
Hey, man, if it means the Super Bowl, I really don't give a shit.
Hey, that's what all these teams are vying for,
If
though.
he,
Every team is looking to go undefeated. Every team is looking to make it to the Super Bowl. Obviously, the Packers being a big favorite going into this. You want to start there because I love them, love them, love them, love them, love them, love them. What are your thoughts on this Packers team? What are you looking for going into Week One? And do any lines on that game intrigue you?
I mean, let's be honest, this team is a slight upgrade from last year's team. I feel like a lot of people are losing that in transition because of all the off-season drama and all that. People are dismissing and forgetting about how talented of a team this is and how this is a Super Bowl ready roster. And I do think it'll take a couple of weeks for the lines to like reflect that accurately because I think people are going to be betting against the Packers for whatever reason. I can't fathom why you would, but um, I like them a lot. At I think was it 4 points or something like that.
So it opened at 2.5 in favor of the Saints, believe it or not. Um, and it's moved now to -3.5 at most books. I think this line's going to move a little bit more. I think that the Saints seem to be a mess all of a sudden. They just had to release one of their running backs who, he just didn't want to take a pay cut, and so they had to cut him for cap reasons because that team's a mess cap reason. And we could see them cut more people come up this week and, you know, get some crazy shit going on.
Well, I mean, I do think the Saints will still be a good team this year, but uh, with this game being moved to Jacksonville and the Saints not having home field advantage to start the season, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have a hard time not taking the Packers -3.5 or -4, whatever it is. So
So the stat that came
I like
out
that a lot.
regarding Aaron Rodgers' record in the Jacksonville Stadium, that doesn't scare you whatsoever as being part of the reasons the Saints picked that location? Because, I mean, Rodgers can be streaky.
Yeah, streaky. Okay.
I don't know, just something to think about. Um, I like this game a lot. I like the Packers. I think -3.5 is a great number. Um, I would even take them up to probably 5, maybe 4.5. But yeah, give me Packers, give me the points, and I'll call it good on that game.
Yeah, and what's the over under for that game?
Over under, you're looking at 50.
Oh, I love the over on that.
Really? Oh well, I guess you got Jameis Winston going
Yeah,
again.
Absolutely. I mean, you got two high octane offenses going at it. There's going to be points. There's going to be a lot of points. Um, yeah, I like the Packers on the spread and the over on that one.
Packers on the spread and the over. The over, uh, yeah, it's hard not like to over, really. I mean, you have Aaron Rodgers coming in. He's going to have a chip on his shoulder and just kind of sling the ball around with all of his offensive weapons. Same thing with the Saints. Um, do you think that Saints defense is going to be able to hold up against Rodgers and be able to stop them a little bit, or do you think that they've deteriorated so much at this point that that's why this over is going to just slam?
Man, if you look at the last two seasons combined, there's been maybe four games where defense has effectively slowed down Rodgers. Obviously, 2 years ago, both times we played San Francisco, both in the regular season and the postseason. Um, the regular season game against Tampa Bay last year, and I can't think of another one off the top of my head. So it's this is a Packers team that's only lost 6 games over the past 2 years in the regular season. I do think the Saints defense will be good this year, but I don't think it's going to be enough to hold the Packers under 25, 30 points.
Yeah, I totally see that, and I do think that yeah, this is going to be a high scoring game. This is going to be a gunslinging game. Both the quarterbacks love to throw the ball downfield. Jameis Winston, we know when he can get loose, he can get loose. His rushing yards might be a nice over when they release that line. As of right now, they do not have that line out, but something to keep in mind for later in the week. Speaking of the week, I can't. I just got so excited talking about Aaron Rodgers getting back on the field, talking about Packers football, and betting on them finally because they're just a cash cow most times. I forgot about another cash cow himself, the goat, the cash goat, I should say, Mr. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Gronkaneers, going against the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott and a very high-powered offense, but a very weak defense going into Week 1. Dak Prescott still is. This is going to be his first live-action NFL snap since his injury. What are you looking at for this game? Do you like any of the lines on this? We got the spread right now at 8.5 in favor of the Buccaneers, over under at 52, and Cowboys money line at plus 290, and Buccaneers at minus 380.
Yeah, I'm in like a tough spot with the spread on this one. Um, if it were 10.5, I'd be jumping on the Cowboys big time. And if it were instead of 8.5, whatever it's at, if it were at like 6.5, I'd probably be on Tampa Bay. But I don't love the spread where it is. I actually think this game will be like high scoring for both teams. Like as good as the Bucks defense should be this year, they were really good last year, returning all their starters. Like I can still see Dallas having success, just putting up points, because this is like a very high octane offense when they're fully healthy. Like they're probably a top 5 offense in the league. So I mean, they're gonna get points. I think my favorite bet for this one would be, I don't know what the number's at, but CeeDee Lamb's overs for both receptions and yards.
Really?
Because I don't know that Amari Cooper's 100% healthy yet. I also like Michael Gallup for yards and receptions as well. Coming in at that third receiver spot might be a little bit of a dark horse. Those numbers will probably be a little lower than they should.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I think I'd kind of hammer a lot of those, both of those receivers prop bet overs. Obviously staying away from any prop bets on Tampa Bay receivers because there's just so many of them that,
So many.
you know,
Maybe take Gronk to
not
score a
every,
touchdown,
not,
but
I mean, no, Gronk had like 5 or 6 touchdowns last year.
yeah, start the season off with a bang though. It's
It's like,
Gronk.
But I mean, you look at the receiving options there. You got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, who don't forget about him. Gronk, Scotty Miller can come in and do some things too. It's just that's why like I hate um with my fantasy drafts. I'm like I hate Tampa Bay receivers because not that they're not going to perform, but they were all just like going way above where their value probably will be because it's one of those like too many mouths to feed type of situations in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's Tom Brady. If anyone can feed all those receivers, it's him. Let's be real. Even if in a Duncan Doint situation, he can just spread the ball around. Still, he's that good because he's the goat. Um, you know, I started off looking at this. I had the line earlier at Bucks -8, and I still loved it. I still love Bucks -8.5. Honest to God, I probably love this up to 9. Give me the Bucks -9. I'll lay those points. Give me the 8.5. I'll take those all day. Actually, if you saw my board earlier, it is one of
You've
my
also got a you've also
Brofic
got a
bets.
major you got a major hard on for Tom Brady in Tampa Bay though. So
No, this is Noah. I looked at the
yeah,
numbers. This is me looking at it as a sports analyst and a sports bettor. Um, I really like Tampa Bay to score a lot of points. I honestly think the over might be in play because, to your point, Dallas might be able to score a bunch of touchdowns on this Tampa defense. With that being said, I don't think it's going to be nearly enough to win this game by a touchdown and a field goal. So give me the 9 points, and I'll take it. But yeah, I'm locking that in right now. Give me the Buccaneers -8.5.
I mean, I one more bet that I really like on this would be Ezekiel Elliott under on rushing yards and total yards because um, we've said it multiple times before, but Mike McCarthy hates running the
He
ball,
hates it.
and that memo I don't think has gotten fully through yet. So like I said, I like CD Lamb and Michael Gallup's overs on both receptions and yards. I like Zeke's under on yards, rushing yards and total yards.
Can't blame me there. I mean, Mike McCarthy does not like the run. Dak Prescott coming out of this injury. They're going to want him to throw the ball. They're going to want him to get comfortable. I like that. I like that as well. Um, Noah, what do you, what,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, in addition to the wide receiver group, the running back group in Tampa Bay, that's a nightmare too, both betting and fantasy wise. I mean, I know I intentionally stayed away from any of the Tampa Bay running backs because I mean, I don't think it's been announced who's going to be the number one running back. I think they're running a three-headed committee there, and um, I haven't looked at what the over-unders are for any of those guys, but
Me either.
there could be value in both the over or the under, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah, there could be. That would be definitely a game time decision, seeing where those lines are at. Something I'll be keeping my eye on most definitely. But what about you, Noah? What we've talked about? What's excited me on the board? What's getting your mouth watery? What's getting you stoked for NFL Week 1 football? What on the board excites you?
Um, I mean, obviously the Packers is number one. That's always going to be the thing that excites me the most. But there's a couple good games in here that I'm looking forward to. One of the main ones that is probably not a big like marquee game for a lot of people, not a game a lot of people have their eyes on, unless you're a fan of the teams. But I'm excited for Jets Panthers.
Yes, sir.
I think
Yes, sir.
Sam Darnold against his old team. You got Zach Wilson, the new look Jets with an beefed up offensive line, a new quarterback, better receiving weapons. And I just can't wait until, the Jets being disrespected as, 5.5 point underdog. I can't wait until they just go into Carolina and beat them. Zach Wilson's going to prove that Sam Darnold sucks and that he is the real deal. So we'll kill two birds with one stone with that game for me, is what I'm looking forward to. Because, I've been shitting on Sam Darnold for as long as he's been in the NFL, and I've loved Zach Wilson. So I would love for both of those to be proven right. See the Jets go in there and win by 2 touchdowns.
Ooh. Two tutties? Two tutties? Wow.
That's just me. That's me getting a little over ambitious, but I do like the Jets to win this game.
Yeah. I can't blame you, dude. Yeah, that's one of my perfect bets as well. Is Jets money line, dude. Give me that money line. I think this Jets team, just like you said, this offense is ready to pop off, dude. They're just ready to go in there and disrespect the Carolina Panthers. And honestly, I think put the NFL on notice that, hey, we may not be a playoff team this year, but we're going to be something to reckon with. We're not going to be a team you can just walk in and walk all over. So, yeah, this is going to be a big statement win by the Jets. And it's also one of those week one lines where, the Panthers are probably a quote-unquote more together team and everything like that, but it's week one of the NFL football. Anything can happen. Give me the Jets money line.
But they're really not. But they're really not. I mean, their defense is slightly better and they have Christian McCaffrey. But other than that, what do they have? And I've also been saying, this offseason, I think people are way too hype on the Panthers. I think, they have a quarterback who in 4 years has not proven himself whatsoever in the NFL. Their offensive line isn't anything like super special. They have some decent receiving weapons, but it's certainly not I wouldn't call it a top 5 and probably not even a top 10 receiving core. Defense is mediocre. I mean, I don't know why people are getting so excited about the Panthers. Sam
Darnold. That's why.
What? Because what they win 5 games 2 years ago with Christian McCaffrey healthy the entire season? It's one guy's not going to carry you to all these wins.
Yeah, unfortunately not at all, especially at the running back position. A quarterback at some point can will their team to some victories.
That is the one and only. Yes, quarterback is the one and only position where you can actually single-handedly make a difference in a game.
Yeah, absolutely, and they prove that.
Positive or negative. Quarterback's the one position where you can pretty much either lose a game or win a game. But
oh yeah, Christian McCaffrey's having a bad game. You just start throwing the ball over top. But with Sam Darnold, we don't know if that's a good other option. So yeah, man, I'm all over the Jets on this game. Love it. It's gonna be nice early underdog win. We love to see that. I do want to talk about one more underdog that I absolutely love, and that is the Detroit Lions against the San Francisco 49ers. Bro, nah, dude, you gotta listen to me here. All right, you gotta listen.
So hear me out. Do you like that because you think the Lions can win, or do you just really hate San Francisco and are really thinking they're overrated?
All right, Noah. So we're talking about money, so I leave emotions out of it. Okay, I'm focused on cold, hard facts right now. Okay, and let me tell you something. The Lions, dude, they love to win games they're not supposed to lose. I mean, excuse me, they love to win games they're not supposed to win whatsoever.
No. The Lions love to lose.
They do love to lose.
Period.
Don't get me wrong.
They love to lose. Period.
Yes, but they can
win.
No.
The thing that the Lions love is just losing. They just love losing.
No, see, this Niners team, I think, is a bigger mess than people will give credit to. I don't think it's covered enough because they're a West Coast team. You got Jimmy G, Trey Lance. That's going to be what's covered. Trey Lance is injured. Jimmy G's in. Simple as that. But by the time this game rolls around, Trey Lance should be activated. So that's going to make some questions at quarterback. What if Jimmy G comes out and just has one bad quarter, and then they're like, yep, fuck it. Let's get Trey Lance in there. Then the Lions are going to eat. They're going to eat this guy up. And so that's why I'm saying Lions money line. Lock it in. I love it. I think this 49ers team is a mess. I think this Lions team is more together than we think. We're going to see Jared Goff go out there and be a brand new quarterback. I'm excited to see this new generation of Lions.
I cannot disagree more. But I will agree with you on one thing that I do think San Francisco's overrated how they are right now. I think people talking about them as a playoff team is a little bit aggressive.
It's a joke.
Um, However, this is the fucking Detroit Lions that we're talking about. And this is a less talented roster than they had last year. Like this team will struggle to win 3 or 4 games. This is a bad Lions team. This is why in my survivor pool, I picked San Francisco because I'm like, it's a good mid-level team that I can feel very solid about them winning a game. I don't have to burn a pick on a really good team. I can pick a mediocre team that I know will beat a fucking shitty team. So I just.
But is that with Jimmy G starting or is that with Trey Lance starting? Who's that under center?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does. Oh, it totally matters.
No. It doesn't matter because there is no better defense to get your first start or first game experience against than the Lions. So if Trey Lance gets put into this game, it'll be one of the easiest defenses he has to play against all year. So, and he won't be because Jimmy G won't look bad because it's the fucking Lions defense. He's not going to look bad. He's going to go do his Jimmy G shit and put up very unimpressive numbers, but nothing that's terrible. He's going to put up boring numbers. That's what Jimmy G loves to do, is just put up boring numbers.
Yeah, I mean, and I think they'll be so boring that he can't score a touchdown in the first half. In fact, I'll even take Lions first half money line, dude. That's how good I'm feeling about this team and how bad I feel about this 49ers team, dude.
I would take the under on this game though, because I think San Francisco's defense is going to hold the Lions to very, very few points, and I don't love their offense. So
over under is at, I think I saw it at 45. Give me a second.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take it at 45. That's fine because, like I said, San Francisco, I mean, they're going to have a really rock solid defense, and their offense is going to be very suspect this year. So
yeah, I have the
the complete opposite of the Dallas Cowboys is the 49ers.
We'll see, man. We'll see come Sunday. That's why they play the games. That's why we're here. That'll be a great game. I'm excited to watch it. What else? Do you have any other major picks standing out? What else do you like, Noah? Because honest to God, I can go through and make picks in every single one of these games. But we'll be here all night, dude. Let's be real, especially once we get done with props and everything like that. So what else do you like going into this weekend?
I like the Falcons -3 against the Eagles at home. Now, by no means do I think the Falcons are going to be good this year, but I think the Eagles, they're one of my 3 teams that I have in the running for worst record this year. Obviously, the Lions are one, the Eagles, and then the Texans. I think those 3 are going to be I would make a bet. I would bet a lot of money that one of those 3 teams ends up with the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, the Texans are already going to get that. They got to pray for that at this point. Well, I mean, do they? Wait, they don't even.
However, with the Texans, though, I'd like them to win Week 1 against Jacksonville, and that might be a little hot take pick right there. I know the line's only 2.5, but Tyrod Taylor's got experience. He's got a couple of years experience playing in the league. He's been announced as their starting quarterback. They have okay receiving weapons. They have okay, running backs. And with how bad Jacksonville's offensive line looked in the preseason,
dude,
I think this is good. I think this is going to be a terrible game to watch. So I probably will not be watching this at all. But I think it'll be a close game. I think it's going to be back and forth and pretty close. It's just going to be such crap football that I don't want to watch it, but I will bet on it.
Well, yeah, of course. You got to bet on bad football. So over under at 44 and a half. You're talking about bad football. That means a low scoring game.
Not
44 and a half
always.
though.
Not always.
Sure, you do have two
Bad
very
football
bad
can be high
defenses too.
scoring too.
Yeah, you're right. So
Yeah, I mean, God, the over under is just so hard to pick on this because you got bad defense and bad offense on both sides. Um, so I mean, I don't even know. I feel like it's gonna be shitty football,
all the way
but
around.
I I do. The reason I like the Texans is just experience in the NFL. They have more of it on their roster. They have a lot more veterans. Jacksonville's a lot younger. So I think that veteran experience will ultimately like give the Texans a slight edge. Um, I think I have them at like 3 wins on the season. The Texans. I think this is one of the three week one against Jacksonville.
Well, now I'm intrigued
I
to
mean,
watch this game.
it'll be like it'll be one of their two easiest games of the season. So if they're gonna win three, might as well get it done week one.
Yeah, yeah, you might as well get it started, especially against a Jaguars team that's definitely young, definitely new, and definitely not a playoff contender by any means necessary. Barely a regular season contender at this point. Um, but that's a stay away game from me because my head, my heart, it's telling me to go with Jacksonville, but my numbers are telling me to go with Texans. And when that stuff doesn't line up, I stay away from the game. I'm not about it. Um, I will say my gut is telling me to go Browns +6 to cover against the Chiefs because let's be real, the Chiefs hate to cover.
Yeah, honestly, over the last couple of years, they've not been a good cover team.
No.
And they win. They win.
Oh yeah,
They
they'll
just
win. No doubt in my mind.
granted a lot of those have been like more than a touchdown spread.
True. Very true. But this is a different Browns team. This isn't just the regular Browns coming to play. This is a Baker Mayfield Browns that is looking like a solid team, and they have OBJ back. Baker Mayfield is feeling more confident than ever. I'm really feeling good with this team, and I really think +6 is enough points. Give me them. Give me them all day, dude. I'll take the 6.
I don't think so. I mean, I think the Browns are just going to squeak into the playoffs this year. And my reasoning for that is you look at last year, I think they were like 7-1 or 8-1 in one score games. And
That
that is
sounds
a
right.
like a huge warning sign for regression. So I don't think they're going to win as many games this year as they did last year. I do think they'll still make the playoffs. I think, they've actually improved their roster a little bit from last year. So oddly enough, I do think they're going to have a slightly better team, but perform a little bit less in the regular season because it's just unrealistic to like expect to keep that up in one score games. One bad bounce on a fumble or something like that can completely turn the tide of like some of those games.
Oh, absolutely. But that's
And
why I think, you know, that's why they're going to cover.
well,
They're going to
and
keep it close. They're going to keep it in there, and they're going to cover.
well, I'm excited to see how this revamped Chiefs offensive line does because if it's as good as it could be, I mean, the Chiefs are going to be back to another like 14, 15 win season. No problem.
No problem whatsoever.
Lock up that one seed easy.
Easy.
I mean,
Might
this
as well
Chiefs
lock it
team
up.
is going to be a hard ass team to beat, except for just that one game a year where they almost lose to the Raiders
So true.
or the Chargers. They they seem like they just have these like every year. There's like one really close game they have with the Raiders and the Chargers. Obviously, they went to overtime with the Chargers one of the games. Well, and the Chargers beat them in the last week of the season, week 17 last year, but Chiefs are resting starters. The Raiders beat the Chiefs and almost beat them a second time. So for whatever reason, they seem to struggle against the Raiders and Chargers. I don't get it because they completely dominate everybody else, including the Bills, the Ravens, any like all these other really good teams. But it's the fucking Raiders and the Chargers that they seem to struggle against.
Yeah, and I mean, everyone has their kryptonite. I mean, Tom Brady can't beat Nick Foles to save his life. Same with Eli Manning in the Super Bowl. So I mean, yeah, shit like that in sports happens, and that's why we love it. It's great. You can't explain it, but for some reason, those teams just suck against those teams. Well, with that being said, Noah, do
Yeah,
you
I
have?
think
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say I think with Tom Brady, I think he's 0-2 against Nick Foles and 1-3 against Eli Manning or something like that.
It's terrible, dude. And he won't even shake Foles' hand at this point. He's just so disgusted with how he's played every single time against Foles. He
he
won't give him
he
that
hasn't
courtesy.
he hasn't he hasn't either time, and I get like the Super Bowl being upset about losing in the
Fair.
Super Bowl, but like even still then, but then Foles comes in and fucking beats him on Monday Night Football or whatever, and he just walks straight into the locker room in a regular season game because he's so fucking butthurt
Against
because
the
he clearly
Bears.
still hates Foles because Foles is just way better than him. I don't know.
Get out. I won't. I will not. I will not be a part of a show with that type of blasphemy going on here. How dare you? Even like, don't get me wrong. I love Big Dick Nick. He's great. He's a great guy. Great quarterback. Did wonders for the Bears. Would have done really good if they invested in him fully. With that being said, he ain't no Brady. So let's go ahead and let's leave that, Noah. That's ridiculous. How dare you? How dare you? Seriously. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway,
So AJ, who's your what's your lock of the week? What do you got? What's the bet that's jumping out the most to you that you gotta take?
dude, we talked about it earlier. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again on Sunday when I tweet out my picks. And honestly, I might just wear a shirt that says it. All right? Give me Jets money line. The Zach Wilson show is here to stay. He is Zach freaking Wilson. I'm all about him. I'm all in that hype. That new offense, Rob Solid over there in New York, is going to do great work with this team. And yeah, they're going to get a fat W against this Carolina Panthers team, and Sam Darnold is going to regret that he ever left and that he was traded away. Yeah, Jets money line. Put it across the chest, put it on my back. I'll wear underwear of it. Give me the Jets money line all day. Noah, what
Hey, the
about
only
you? What?
yeah, I was gonna say the only reason Sam Darnold's gonna regret leaving New York is he will not have all these scapegoats of other things. Poor coaching, poor offensive line, poor defense. His excuses are gone.
Done.
So if he
No more.
continues to play like dog shit like he has his entire career, he's got no excuses left in Carolina. He's got no
None.
excuses.
None whatsoever. It's terrible. But yeah.
He is suspect number one. More blame falls on his shoulders than anyone else. It's him and Matt Rule are the two guys who are getting all the blame if they're performing poorly, and he deserves it, and I hope he gets it.
Oh, and
I
he
love
will.
Jets money line. I love that you're on that. Myself, I've got two locks of the week.
Two locks.
I mean,
Two
I
locks.
yes,
What
two
are they?
locks of the week.
Let's hear this.
Um, First and foremost, Seattle minus 2.5
Ooh.
at the Colts. Colts got, I believe, Jacob Eason starting at quarterback.
I believe so. No, Wentz should be back, I believe.
Yeah,
I
is
believe
Wentz
Carson's
going to be
starting.
there week one?
Hmm?
And doesn't even matter. You know how much I hate Carson Wentz, anyways.
Yes, I
So
do. Very
like,
aware of that.
he's a I mean, I just constantly call him a turnover machine because he is. Doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if Carson Wentz is starting. I think the Seahawks team has. I guess the big question is whether or not we see the Seahawks team of the last 4 or 5 games of the season, or that or the first 4 games of the season, or if we see that team that showed up in the middle chunk, I'm betting on the fact that we don't see that team that was the middle, like 8 games of the season. I think the Colts, with regardless of who's at quarterback, they got guys recovering from injury. The Colts have. It seems like this whole preseason, offseason, it's just been injury, 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 injury. These guys are banged up. I think their defense is still going to be pretty good, but Seattle's offense is good enough to compete with that, and I don't think the Colts' offense is going to be good enough to put up as many points as the Seahawks do. So I love the Seahawks -2.5. And my other lock that I really, really, really love is the Monday night game.
Ooh.
Give me Ravens -4.5 against the Raiders. The Raiders are a train wreck. John Gruden, I don't know. I don't know how he, won a Super Bowl with Tampa Bay. Like, he clearly, his time away from the game has really changed shit. He's just making all the wrong moves there in Tampa Bay, and bringing in all the wrong players, getting rid of all their good players. I feel bad for Derek Carr because he's getting absolutely no help. Clearly, offensive line was a big issue last year. They did not address offensive line at all. They're like, well, screw it, whatever. You can just deal with this shit.
Honest to God,
their defense is bad. Their offensive line is bad.
Yeah.
They have Derek Carr, who's good. They have Waller, but other than that, I don't know who they even have at receiver anymore. They got Ruggs, who coming into his second year, but he hasn't even proven anything.
No. And
this Raiders team is going to be bad.
Yeah.
And this is the perfect opponent for Baltimore, who is going to run their typical offense and defense. They're going to play a really tough defense on you. They're going to bring a lot of pressure. And then on offense, they're just going to run the ball a ton. And the Raiders don't have a strong enough front seven to stop the run. I think Baltimore runs the ball all over them. I love Baltimore -4.5 on this one.
Baltimore -4.5. Seattle -2.5 for your locks for the week. Myself, Jets money line all day. Noah, it's been a pleasure. I cannot wait to sit on my couch and watch Sunday football again. It's beautiful. Thank God we're back, dude. We're all the way back, and I could not be more excited. And yeah, we will be back later this week with our picks for college football week 2, another stacked board. And honest to God, Noah, looking at it early, I don't know about you, but I am beyond excited for this week of college football, because why the hell wouldn't I be? It's just another full weekend of football to bet on, and you can't beat that, man. You really can't beat that. But with that being said, we will be back. We will be back with more Degenerate Bets.